You ever had a neighbor so entitled they thought your property was their free resource? Well, I had one. And when he secretly stole my water for months, I didn't just get even. I ruined him. Without ever touching his property, without breaking a single law, just a twist of a valve, and his entire life crumbled. If you ever dealt with shady neighbor or dreamed of serving up a dish of justice, hit that like button, subscribe, and grab a seat, because what you're about to hear is one of the most satisfying stories of revenge you'll ever witness. And trust me, the ending? Chef's kiss. So I live in Asia, right? Middle of the capital city. Just bought a house. Great price, awesome location. The kind of deal you dream about. The reason I got it so cheap? The previous owners were family friends who had moved abroad and hadn't touched the house in over 3 years. It was basically abandoned. Mid-renovation, no front gate, and the front door locked with a freak-in padlock. Not even a proper deadbolt. And the day I moved in, there was someone else's motorcycle just chilling in my garage like it was a public parking space. That was red flag number 1. I parked the bike on the road and got a gate installed that very same day. That evening, some guy comes banging on my gate like he pays rent here. I didn't answer, just watched from the window as he angrily paced around for 15 minutes and then left with his bike. Not exactly the warm welcome I was hoping for. Anyway, that was the first of many weird vibes I got from the neighborhood. See, people around here had gotten used to this house being abandoned. They'd park in front of the gate, treat the yard like a shortcut. No parking sign fixed most of that, but it was clear this neighborhood had claims on what wasn't theirs. Then came last week. It started during a shower. I'm rinsing off and suddenly, the water pressure drops. Now, in most places, that wouldn't be a big deal. Old pipes, inconsistent supply, whatever. But this fell off. Real off. So I start listening. And that's when I hear it. The neighbor's water pump humming away like a lawnmower in July. Now, let me paint this dude for you. Grumpy old guy. Lives on the ground floor of his 3-story house. The other 2 floors? Rented out to tenants. And this guy, oh, he hated that I bought this place. Apparently, he gave the previous owners an earful when they told him they were selling. Thought he had some sort of claim. They warned me about him. But I'm a 6-foot dude with 3 dogs and 0 tolerance for BS. So far, he hadn't dared to try anything. Until now. See, in our area, the public water pressure isn't strong enough to reach higher floors. That's why houses have water tanks on the roof. To fill those, you need a pump. So when I heard his pump running and my pressure drop at the exact same time, I got suspicious. Really suspicious. After his pump finally shut off, I tested all my taps. Boom. Pressure's back. So now I'm thinking, is this dude siphoning water from MY Supply? Back when the house was empty, the water bills were weirdly high. Everyone assumed it was just leaks in the old plumbing. But now I was starting to think Mr. Miser next door had taken upon himself to tap into my line like it was an open bar. I checked everywhere. Couldn't find a connection. But the timing, the pressure shifts, it all lined up. Now listen, water here isn't expensive. I pay like $5 a month, even with 3 dogs, a garden, and regular car washes. But this wasn't about money. It was about principle. This man thought he was entitled to my property. He thought he could just take, without asking. That didn't sit right with me. So I thought about confronting him, or calling the water board, maybe even hiring someone to trace the line. But then I had a better idea, a much simpler idea, one that didn't involve lawyers or paperwork or shouting matches. All I did was wait. Monday rolls around. I hear his pump start up, that familiar low grumbling sound. And just like that, I walk to the main valve and turn it off. No water to steal if there's no water flow. Now, here's where it gets good. Most water tanks have a ball valve that tells the pump when the tank is full. If there's no water coming in, the pump keeps running. It doesn't know it's dry. And running a water pump dry? That's like running a car engine without oil. I figured the pump might overheat, maybe burn out. What I didn't expect was for his ancient 1990s era house wiring to go into full meltdown mode. Around 3 a.m., I hear voices. Tenants on his upper floors. Confused, agitated. They had no water, no power. Apparently, that old pump had drawn so much power overnight. It overloaded the system, fried the fuse box, took out wiring to both upper floors. Poof! Tenants were furious. And here's the thing. In my country, tenants have serious rights. Water and electricity are considered essential services. If the landlord can't provide them, that's ground for police complaints, heavy fines, even civil action, which is exactly what happened. One tenant moved out 2 days later. The other filed a complaint with the local police. And since this was an act of God or some external accident, the landlord, aka Old Miser, was held fully responsible. He got slapped with a $500 fine, which is a lot of money where I live. On top of that, he had to return both security deposits. And until he fixed the power and water issues, he couldn't legally rent the floors again. Now, here's where it goes from karma to cruel irony. This guy's retired. No pension. No job. His only income was the rent from those tenants. And now, gone. As of this weekend. He's moving in with his daughter. Can't afford to live alone anymore. And the best part? He knows. He knows exactly what happened. Couple days ago, he shows up at my gate. Tries to play it casual. Says, "Hey, did you turn off your water recently?" I give him a little smile and go, "Oh, yeah. There was a leak. Had to shut it off for a day till the plumber came by." He just stared at me. Straight face. No emotion. But I could feel it. That burning frustration behind his eyes. He knew I knew, but he couldn't prove anything. Couldn't say a damn word. So he just nodded. Said, "Oh, okay," and walked off like a man who just lost a chess game 7 moves ago. And me? I'm getting the plumbing fixed next week. Any leftover pipes leading off my property? Removed. Permanently. So now I have clean plumbing, no leaks, and no more freeloaders. I didn't yell. Didn't get violent. Didn't even raise my voice. Just flipped the switch. And watched karma do the rest. 2 birds. 1 valve. That feeling of watching someone entitled, someone who took advantage of your kindness, finally face consequences? It's indescribable. For once, I didn't feel helpless. Didn't feel small. I felt like justice had been served. Because in life, sometimes the loudest revenge isn't shouting or fighting. It's the quiet click of a valve turning. I didn't ruin his life. He did that the day he decided to steal from his neighbor. All I did was stop him. Sometimes, you don't need to lift a finger to fight back. You just need to know where to turn off the tap. If this story gave you chills, hit that like button and comment below. What would you have done? Subscribe for more real stories of revenge, karma, and sweet justice. And remember, respect your neighbors. You never know what they're capable of.